go through trying to find a piece of this paradise is nothing nice. A make a fight can lose his appetite. Bring on the afterlife, it's like we live in hell here. The man that wrote the evil.
Welcome to another episode of Krazys Cookbook. Today I'm going to be cooking something I cook for myself a lot. Chicken thighs. I'm going to be doing that in Mr. Brown's dry rub. And I'm going to be doing that super crispy and then rehydrating it with lime. Trust me on this one, it's amazing. The reason I'm doing the chicken thighs is this good, nice flavoured bit of meat. It's got skin on it as well because you want that skin for the crispiness. But yeah, let me get into this and I'll show you as I go along. But it's perfect. This chicken needs to be cleaned. Yeah, don't believe the hype where they say you can eat chicken straight out of the packet. You can, if you're nasty. Yeah, there's so much preservatives in this stuff. Look on the back. Yeah, preservatives, bare preservatives. Yeah, you want to clean it off. Yeah, so like, jump that up, get it in a bowl. Yeah. Now some people they go in, they put lemon juice, they put all sorts in there. I'm saying make sure you get in there with your hands. And look, come in with the camera. Come in with the camera. Let me turn off that, yeah? Look how misty that water is. Look at that. That's not just chicken goop, that's preservatives, that's nitrates, and that's all the stuff you want out of your food before you cook it now. I washed that chicken down a bit. I'm leaving that to soak for a minute because I want to make sure it comes out. I've got these peppers that I'm going to be cooking the chicken with. These are kind of like your normal bell peppers, but they're just pointy sweet peppers. I think they taste a bit better. So I'm going to literally just chop that up. Get out the seeds because it's not like a chili where you want the seeds in there. These just, get in your mouth. And then chop it, chop it, chop it. Kind of big. Again, if it's too small, it's going to burn with the chicken. And we want this to hold itself throughout the cooking process up until the end. So get rid of that. One slice down it, like that. Wash, wash, wash. Jobs are good on. And then chuck that into here. No matter if there's a few seeds every so often, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, you don't want loads of them in there. Next up, an onion. I want an onion in there. So I'll chop the top off. I want kind of big pieces of onion as well. Again, for the same reason as the pepper, you just don't want it shrinking down too much to nothingness. I want some of the end for my sauce and everything like that. Alright, slice it in half, and then say quite big chunks, not like extra fine, like that. And this one I'm going to be even more sparse, like that. And that could go straight in like that. Next, yeah, straight in with thyme. You've got a big bunch here, nice bunch, and put a substantial bit around and keep it all on the sticks.
Don't look at me like that, end of the day, you ain't seeing what we're seeing.
Okay, I'm satisfied that this chicken is actually clean. The water, when I run it onto it now, just comes out clear. And yeah, when I've drained it, I left it for a little bit and then drained it again because the water just kind of comes out and soaks into the chicken. But I'm ready to literally chuck that in here. And don't worry about where it's positioned too strong at the moment because I've still got to add the seasoning and the flavouring. We just want to make sure the skin stays on top. So that's going to be important to the dish. And yeah, keep them out. But at this point, make sure you go wash your hands again and get chicken goop off your hands. Okay, garlic. Now, I usually only get big garlic. The supermarket only had small garlic. So what I'm going to do in this instance, instead of crushing it all down, I'm going to chop it straight in half, like that, yeah. And chuck it in there like that with it. That one can stay in there. If it comes apart, it comes apart. Even better, so I can cook. And I'm going to do that to another 2 whole garlics. We love the garlic flavour. No, just in half like that, and just pop that around it. And then next, I want some salt and pepper. Now I've got a teeny little bit of salt in there, and mainly pepper, because you want to save the salt in until the end. And some of the other seasonings have salt in there as well. So, a pestle of water, grind it down. Okay, so this pepper, I'm going to chuck loads of the pepper on there. It's got, as I said, a teeny little bit of salt in there, but not too much. Also, our all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to put a fair amount on there. This is all going to get mixed up. And the main star of the show, I use this in quite a few dishes, I can't lie, yeah? Mr. Brown's original Jamaican curry seasoning. This is probably the best curry powder you'll get. Again, I don't use it for Indian dishes, but things like this is so good. Just trust me on this, get some, yeah? And I'm going to use this as a dry rub for it. Now obviously there's going to be a little bit of water that comes out from the veg and everything like that. And I will mix them in when I'm doing the sauce in a bit. But ultimately now, I just want this to go all over that. So now, I'm drawing for the latex, yeah? Man like me keeps some latex gloves in the yard. Fuck that. Alright. Yeah? Checkers. No way. That's the way to do it, right? I've got one off them. But the reason I'm doing this is because that Mr. Brown seasoning will stain up your hands. Yeah? Right. Now I'm going to put some oil just to help it stick, but not too much, because as I say, I'm trying to do it like a dry rub. A little piece more. And then I'm going to get in there and get that all over the chicken, like everywhere. In fact, I'm going to need more seasoning than that for sure. So the bits that don't look seasoned, I'm going to leave facing up, so I can go in for part 2. I want to clean the gloves because I didn't want chicken goop all over the bag. Obviously this is something I use a lot, and chicken's bad, especially if it's got salmonella poison in it. It's better to be safe than sorry in it, just keep things clean. So yeah, more curry powder on it. As I say, normally I go quite sparing for this dish. Nah, no sparing at all on this. Get that flavour right in there, underneath the skin, everywhere. Mix that right up. I have marinated it for about 25 minutes myself. If I wasn't doing a cooking show, I'd try and leave for an hour to 2 hours to let the curry flavour sink into the chicken. If you can, and you've got enough time and you plan ahead, and you're good like that, do it overnight. Now, you'll see my hands, apart from what I've just done, aren't stained yellow, yeah? Look, but yeah, basically, gloves are the way forward with this seasoning. Now, I've preheated the oven to 220, so that is ready to go in the oven now. Now with the rice, okay, I've actually cleaned it through. You're gonna have to trust me on this one. I've done it off camera. I've shown you how to clean rice. You should probably know how to clean rice. But yeah, trust me on this one. Now get some thyme as well. Throw that in there. Of course, some bay leaves, because you know this probably won't be Krazys cookbook without bay leaves. Couple in there. I'm running out. We get some salt in there. Not too much, because I want to put some all-purpose seasoning in that as well. And then we're going to let that boil up and get rid of the goop and then cover that up. Inside of the rice, I am going to put red kidney beans. Now I'm going to use the sauce on here as well. That will colour the water. And another thing I'm going to do is get coconut milk. I'm going to bust that open and put that inside as well. So that's got to cook down. But when that does, that is going to be beautiful. I know I've chucked a lot of ingredients in, and initially when this bubbles up, you get a lot of those ingredients come to the top. But after a while, that goes in. I've moved it around with a spoon a little bit. Now this little bit of nastiness at the top, this could go in the sink, because that is just goop. And that ain't got no flavour in that apart from goop flavour. You don't want to eat no goop, ain't nobody got time for that. The rice now, I've turned down the heat to the lowest setting because the water is down at rice level now. So I'm going to literally just cover that up and leave that probably for about 10-20 minutes whilst I check my chicken. I'm going to open this up now and avoid this jet of steam. Have a look at how this is coming along. Wow, now this is starting to look beautiful, and you notice all of the moisture in the bottom is forming our sauce. But I don't want this chicken to burn as much as I want it to dry out. I want it to crisp up properly on both sides. So what I'm going to do is quite simply flip that over, put that back in. Be careful not to splash too much of this yellow stuff on your arms. It will mash up your machine up. Okay, so I flipped them over for the first time. I've only managed to stay in my top twice, so we're going quite well. But yeah, I'm going to put that back in because I want that to start drying up on both sides. But I don't want to dry out the sauce, so I'll come back and check it regularly.
Surrounded by the evil parasites trying to find eternal Armageddon approach.
Next, get the griddle pan, put that on the heat, leave that for about 5 minutes to get super hot. We're going to cook some baby corn. I want to check the temperature of this griddle pan, so I'm going to put a little bit of water on there. And if it does that to water, you know it's about ready to cook your food, yeah? So next up, I've got these baby corns, and I want to get lots of black lines in it, so that's why I'm doing it on this. Mainly for aesthetic reasons, make it look like it's been barbecued, but it does add to the flavour, so trust me on that one as well. Yeah, we leave that in there for about 5 minutes until you can see the black lines coming through. What I'm going to do now is check the chicken, because I just want to keep on flipping it over and over and over until it crisps up. And that looks special. I mean, come on. That's good. Yeah, quite simply, get in there, bosh, flip them over, over, let's go back on the skin side, flip that over, and every last piece make sure it's all done, don't forget none of them, get that back in on the heat for another 10-20 minutes. Now I've got these beautiful burn marks, stripes in the corn. I'm going to swap that over to another pan. I'm going to put some butter on that.
To the issue and tonight even worse. Grew up wanting to be shot as not a doctor but nurse. Little kids turn bad man moving white bees and herbs. And there's only so much cats, so man are fighting for turf. Mums lose their sons and daughters, they lead to these curves. That's why I'm trying to play it right and get the life I deserve.
Armageddon approach, the feds peddling.
I've taken the corn and I've put it on an extremely low heat at the back just to soak in the butter flavour. That's going to be beautiful. And this chicken now started to brown nicely on top. Okay, so what I'm going to do now at this point is, if you see it there, the sauce is starting to brown as well. Now we'll try and keep as much of that as possible. I'm going to take the chicken out for a minute and put that on a separate plate, so I can get the good stuff underneath. For these roasted vegetables, which are going to taste ridiculous. Okay. All of this here is not going to waste. We're going to put that in a pan here. Now I'll cook down and make some sauce with the roasted veg as well. Okay, I've got the chicken. I'm going to put it the most cooked side down, so skin side down. I'm going to put it back in there, and this is going to help dry out the chicken now. I'm going to stick this back in the oven for about another 10-20 minutes and let that crisp out whilst I work on the sauce and get everything else ready. I'm going to take these garlics out now as well, because I'm going to make a sauce. So I'm putting them all on the plate ready, so I can put them in before I'm serving. That look pretty on the plate. I'm going to take some of the veg off as well, so I'm going to serve that up with it, but the rest is going to go towards my sauce base. Okay, now with the sauce, just going to put some water on that, and that's going to bring out the flavours. Mix that all in, and all I'm going to do to add to that is I'm going to go for my friend, my secret recipe, best chicken gravy. And they say that it might look like I'm copping out a little bit, but taste this stuff, and with that, they come back to me. So I'm going to do the wrong thing. It's a thing of beauty.
Eternal Armageddon approach, the feds peddling coke. You's trying to be equal, they're losing their life and there's no sequel. Surrounded by
I'm gonna get the chicken out now. I got a sneaky suspicion that it's gonna be ready. Let's have a look. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so you see that's browning off nicely, yeah? That is not burning. That is the exact colour we want for what I want. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is, because I want to rehydrate this in lime juice. So I'm gonna put these all quite carefully in here. Now, I have regular limes over here, but I'm not going to use them. I mean, I've got bare limes, and I use that to garnish. But what I have got, because I got a lot of lime juice in here, is this. And this, yeah, the lime juice tastes just as good as any other juice. But I'm going to thoroughly soak all of the pieces of chicken in there. All over anything that was brown looking, even slightly burnt or crispy, and get that soaked in. And don't worry about how much lime juice you get in there, cover that fully. Just as I thought, that is looking pretty spot on, perfect. I mean, that's been there for the whole time, just soaking up the water and the coconut juice. That is going to be insanely good. Yeah. And you see that there, Scotch bonnet. If you're crazy, you eat that as well. But yeah, you notice, yeah, as well, I haven't put holes in it. If you want to make that even hotter and spicier, stab some holes in the pepper first before you put it in there. But that's perfect. And now that lime's soaked in all the way through, yeah, I'm going to serve this up and plate this up. So I will be with you in a second to try it out. Stick around.
trying to be equal, they're losing their life and there's no sequel. Surrounded by the evil parasites, trying to find eternal paradise. Blinded by the lights, genetically encrypted.
Now I got to taste it. I know this is going to be ridiculous anyway, but you know, why not? It's criminal not to try this. Oh, I love this. Wow. Right. Look, I beg you, just allow me, leave me alone for now, yeah? Go get these ingredients, cook it, and then come back and let me know what you think, yeah? So that was another episode of Krazys Cookbook. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy this. This is great. But now, seriously, do yourself a favor, cook this. Peace.